Alright guys, we're doing a great piano blues piece today, a classic. If you're into blues, this is just a must for your lessons. This is by James Booker. It's called St. James Infirmary. Just do a YouTube search for it. You can find it there or on iTunes. Take a listen. Here's the beginning of it. So forth. Just going to be a ton of lessons. It's going to be probably 10 videos or more, each being probably between 10 and 15 minutes long. So just a great study for piano blues by one of the masters. So again, I always put the free part 1 on YouTube, of course. The rest of the lessons for this entire piece, the guy who hired me to do this paid pretty good for it, because it took me a lot of time to transcribe. It's going to take a lot of time to do the videos. But it'll be on webpianoteacher.com. Webpianoteacher.com will complete this series of lessons for this song. Anyway, let's get going here. In the right hand, we start with B, E, A, G. And it's just ba-ba-ba-bum, B, E, A, G. Oh, I'm sorry, B, E. I just realized I had a little typo there. I don't catch these mistakes sometimes till I actually start the lesson. So change that to B, E, G. Okay, so B, E, G, A, ba, 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 bum. Alright, so we have da, 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 da. And then in the right hand we're going to have A sharp, B. We're going to have that a lot. He does that little device a lot. So it's A sharp, B, and use fingers 1, 2, 3. And just kind of flip it. Brum. There's no really rhythm to it, you just get there. And then we do it again here. See, A sharp, B. And then we're going to go ba-da-da-dum. And it's going to be B flat, and yes, A sharp is the same note as B flat, but when we're descending, we'll call it B flat. That's just rules of music. But B flat, A, G, E, and it's da 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 dum. So whenever I slur something, that means it's a group. It kind of goes together. See? So it's da 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 dum 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 ba da da dum. Okay. Now the left hand is going to have a low E to start with. Here's middle C, here's the next C, so this is the E we want. And then in the gap here we're going to come up and do an E minor chord. That's why I put EM. There's so many notes in this thing, I'm going to use a shorthand every once in a while, and here's one of them, E minor. It's going to be E, G, B, and E. We're going to have that a whole lot in this. You can see I already have lots of E minors on this first chord. E, G, B, E. You just put it in the gap right there. As always, if you can't reach the whole thing, on the left hand you can just leave the top note off and play the bottom 3. Okay, if you can't reach that. Okay, so we have this, and then this is together. So rum, and then the left hand comes in the gap, and then da 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 da. Okay, let's do it again in slow motion. Go. Then we get to this. Okay. Now blues, you know, the tempo kind of will pause a little bit and then rush forward and then pause a little bit. So you have to have some freedom in your tempo there. Okay, you can't count out every little single thing and have it sound like genuine blues. So do a lot of listening, playing by feel on your rhythm. So let's try again that beginning and go. Okay, again. The fingering for that, I went 4, 3, 2, 1, da 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 dum. Alright, now we're going to have da dum. Alright, so we have G, A, but it's not real fast, it's just da dum. It's an appoggiatura. Da dum. And then we're going to have da 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 dum, which is G, A sharp, B, G, A sharp, B, da 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 dum. Okay? Left hand is going to have a low A to start with, way down here. Middle C, next C, next C. low A, and then we're going to come up. Now I bracketed this. I do that to save room on the board, because if I wrote it vertically, then I'd have to raise everything up and lose space up there. So I'm writing it horizontally here, but you're going to play it all together. E, G, A, C, right here in the middle of the piano. E, G, A, C, all together, right there in the gap. So it's and then right in the gap. Then after you play that, then you're going to do the G, A sharp, B. Does that make sense? So together, left, it goes in the gap, just like this one in the gap there. So we have again. Now let's start at the beginning. Ready, go. Okay? And really, these two boxes can be one, really probably one measure, but and then we're going to move on and go. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the next measure here. The right hand has G, B, G, E, and it's all grouped together. Okay, so just 3, 5, and 1. And then we're going to come down a little bit. So it's going to be B, and then up to G, back down to E. Then we're going to do that again. Then we're going to do it one more time for the third time. B, G, E. So see how it happens 3 times? 1, 2, 3. Alright, so the left hand's going to have low E. Then the E minor, my shorthand for the E minor. E, G, B, E. Okay? And then just a single E, so it's back to the low E. And then the E minor, so it's the E minor chord again, okay? So you play hands together here, the left hand in the gap, and then right hand, the left hand comes in about right there, and then right, and then left. So yeah, the right hand has to get out of the way. The left hand can do that E minor. And then B, E, G, A. Now let's kind of do it in rhythm. Ready? Go, and hear how it kind of, you can't really box in the right hand and nail it down to a certain rhythm because it's blues. It's just kind of by feel. Usually you'll have the background instruments in blues will be playing a steady, on the beat thing, but then the instrumental person, whether it's a saxophone or a trumpet or whatever they're doing, will kind of be all over the place on the rhythm and just kind of, really free and not in an exact metronomic thing, okay? And that's how he's doing here on the piano, because the left hand is those background instruments that just stay real solid, and the right hand is that instrumental, or the soloist, and that's what makes the piano blues more difficult, because you got to be both. You're the background instruments and you're the soloist, and so you have to kind of allow for some freedom on the rhythm. But let's start right here again. Ready, and go, and... Okay, so I'm just kind of feeling that. Now, that's as far as we're going to go for the free part 1, so let's start at the beginning again. Ready, go. Hope you guys enjoy it. Remember, webpianoteacher.com. We'll finish this whole thing with all the boards. It'll be probably close to 2 hours worth of lessons, I'm guessing, for 7 minutes of music, but I go in detail on all of it, and it'll serve you well in your blues playing. You'll learn what you do on this and then start applying it to your own blues playing. That's what's fun about it.